Look, I'm going to be completely honest. Here, I'm in over my head on the Bitcoin stuff. This has legitimately ruined my life. If I could sell it all right now, I would, but we have to wait for break even. That's what I keep telling myself, just wait for break even. I'm going insane having to deal with these Bitcoin maxers who think they know what they're talking about. I've been secretly buying NFTs on Ethereum for months now. Bitcoin sucks. I should have bought Ethereum, I really should have. I bought a few pudgy penguins last night just to feel something. They helped me get through the pain of holding this absolute scam of a boomer coin. I'm praying for one more cycle, and then I'm rotating all into Ethereum. There is a second best, and it's Bitcoin. Did Michael Saylor's Bitcoin exit strategy actually get leaked? Has Bitcoin legitimately ruined his life? While today, according to Twitter, supposedly leaked audio clips of Saylor revealing his Bitcoin sell strategy are going viral, garnering hundreds of thousands of views and likes. But what is really going on here? Well, fellow YouTuber Moist Critical explains it well in this clip. I'm not here to scare you, but what I'm about to share might put the fear of God deep in your soul, and by God I mean AI. It is advancing so fast every day. There are new groundbreaking developments in the AI field. You remember the expression seeing believes. I think it used to be used for really bad horror movie titles, like the catchphrase, as well as talking about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. But it was really applicable to evidence. If you could see something, if you can hear something, it's real. It's hard proof. But not anymore. Just like the dinosaurs that are extinct because of video or audio evidence no longer means it's authentic. No matter how real it looks, AI is getting scarily close to making fake videos that are indistinguishable from real ones. And alarmingly close, like right on the edge, like one pubic hair of a bumblebee's sack away from delivering perfect audio synthesis. Yes, so what is really going viral and tricking many people into believing is an AI audio-synthesized clip of Michael Saylor's supposed exit strategy. What's incredible is just how accurate it is. When I first heard it, if it wasn't so ridiculous, I would completely believe that it was an audio clip of Saylor, and because Saylor has done so many hours of talks and interviews, the AI model has so much data and nuance to machine learn with, making the Saylor AI-generated audio clips particularly good. This has all come about from a new company called 11 Labs, a service in which you can just upload your own audio as long as it's over 60 seconds long with no background noise, and it can then spit out an incredibly accurate generated AI voice. As you can hear, the accuracy of this technology is pretty incredible. First, with OpenAI, ChatGPT, and now 11 Labs, it seems like there's a new groundbreaking artificial intelligence development every week. So, no, of course, Michael Saylor is not looking to sell Bitcoin or has any sort of exit strategy in place, but don't take it from me. Michael Saylor actually went on CNBC to explain this viral video clip and answer the question if he has an exit strategy and why he did sell some Bitcoin in 2022. And yes, I can confirm this is not AI, but a real interview. Walk me through with paper losses, now getting something like $1.3 billion. Does this change your strategy? No, it doesn't change our strategy. I mean, the losses are a function of the indefinite and tangible accounting treatment. And of course, an auspicious development, the industry is at FASB's taking a position that they're going to move toward fair value accounting. So eventually, we'll be able to mark our Bitcoin assets to market. We're enthusiastic about that. MicroStrategy is a way to invest in the digital transformation of money, and we're a gateway to the macro and crypto economy, allowing investors to go short, go long, or trade the volatility. So our strategy is to buy and hold Bitcoin, and the key for us is to be consistent, transparent, and responsible in pursuit of that strategy, and we're unique in that regard. That being so, you did sell some Bitcoin. I realized tax loss harvesting at the end of last year. Would you plan to sell more if need be? We're always considering ways that we can take advantage of this multi-billion-dollar asset, and as you know, there's volatility and there's some unique tax treatments. So, in that case, we were able to generate a $34 million tax loss, and we were able to carry it back against taxable gains. You know, we look forward, and from time to time, we may see opportunities, but we're fairly prudent and responsible in considering those things. Let's talk a little bit about tech, because MicroStrategy is really essentially two companies in one, holding the Bitcoin, which we'll talk more about in just a moment, but also a business intelligence enterprise software company as well, continuing to see some resilience in that part of the business. One of the things we've discussed in the past is how the Bitcoin part of the business has helped to feed or even strengthen the business case for the software part of the business. Does that continue given the fact that Bitcoin, and I realize we've had this rally in the last couple weeks, but it's down so dramatically from the highs just less than a year and a half ago. Well, it's been great for our company. Our employee turnover is at an all-time low, so I think it's good. It's good for our shareholders. They've enjoyed great returns. It's great for the employees. It's great for the customers. Ultimately, the big idea here is that money is technology that allows us to transfer economic energy through time and space, and we're seeing and living through a digital transformation of money. Everybody wants to move assets at the speed of light, friction-free, 24/7, 365. Microstate Energy's Bitcoin strategy is just a way to invest in that, and the enthusiasm over Bitcoin is really billions of people on the planet that want to move their money faster and more frequently, and they're chafing at the restrictions of the 20th century analog finance economy. So how are you stepped aside as CEO last year, and part of the reason was to be able to focus more on this type of integration and on this type of new concept. The most exciting thing going on right now in the digital monetary world is Lightning. Lightning is a Layer 2 open protocol for moving Bitcoin transactions in a split second for a fraction of a penny. In essence, Lightning is money over IP, and if you think about the world as it changed after TCP/IP and moving data over IP and then voice over IP, Lightning promises to allow millions of companies to provide transactions in real time with billions of consumers. MicroStrategy is actually developing MicroStrategy Lightning, our own enterprise Lightning offering, and we're going to allow CMOS to offer Lightning rewards or Bitcoin rewards, like a universal frequent flyer program to hundreds of thousands or millions of their customers, all of their employees, all of their prospects, at the speed of light off of a website. So we're very enthusiastic about that. And you're betting there's stuff like right now companies spend billions of dollars on digital marketing. They give it to Google, they give it to Facebook, and they spend that money on ads in order to get people to come to their website. What if you could just give the billions of dollars in money directly to your customers and your prospects, and you cut out the advertising? It might create a much less toxic, much more constructive environment. To do it, you need micropayments. You need to be able to move money at the speed of light, friction-free. You can't do it with 20th century credit cards. They're too expensive. They're too slow. They're too clunky. There's too much friction. So what Bitcoin offers is microtransactions that can fundamentally change the way you market, change the way you build your products. And of course, if you live in Africa or South America and it's Saturday afternoon and the banking system is not working for you, Bitcoin and Lightning are a monetary system that works for the entire world and never gets turned off. Yeah, so what do you say when Charlie Munger's Berkshire Hathaway earlier this week publishes an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal and says, a cryptocurrency is not a currency, not a commodity, not a security. Instead, it's a gambling contract with a nearly 100% edge for the house entered into a country, where gambling contracts are traditionally regulated only by states that can compete in laxity. And obviously, the US should now enact a new federal law that prevents this from happening. Well, his criticisms of crypto aren't totally off. There are 10,000 crypto tokens which are gambling, and I sympathize with them on that matter. But Charlie and the other critics, they're members of the Western elite, and they continually prodded for an opinion on Bitcoin, and they haven't had the time to study it. If he was a business leader in South America or Africa or Asia, and he spent 100 hours studying the problem, he would be more bullish on Bitcoin than I am. Lebanon, Argentina, Sri Lanka, and Nigeria, Venezuela, they all illustrate the right of the common man, and there's no solution better than Bitcoin. So I really think, the Western elites, they haven't had the time to study it, but I've never really met someone with an incentive living in the rest of the world that spent some time to think about it that wasn't enthusiastic about Bitcoin. That being said, it certainly seems like everyone's taking the time right now to study the implosion of the cryptocurrency space overall, in general, that we've seen over the past year, and certainly marked by the situation with Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX and Alameda just a couple of months ago. It's been a black eye on the industry more broadly. I want to get your thoughts on that and what it means in terms of potential regulation, at least here in the US, and whether you now see that painted with a very broad brush that will include Bitcoin. The crypto meltdown was painful in the short term, but it's necessary over the long term for the industry to grow up. This industry has some good ideas like digital currencies and assets moving at the speed of light that are unstoppable, and a digital commodity that can be debased. And it also has a lot of entrepreneurs that implemented those good ideas in irresponsible fashion. What it needs is adult supervision. It needs the Goldman Sachs and the Morgan Stanleys and the BlackRocks to come into the industry. It needs clear guidelines from Congress. It needs clear rules of the road from the SEC. The crypto meltdown has punctuated the problem, has educated everybody on it, but also it's underscored the idea that it's time for the world to provide a constructive, transparent framework for digital assets so that we can move the financial system out of the 20th century into the 21st century. You do work with Silvergate Bank. It's issued loans to MicroStrategy, which is your subsidiary that focuses on Bitcoin, collateralized by Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin. We continue to do business with the bank given the fact that, in addition to the headlines today, that it is in the midst of a US fraud probe over the FTX Alameda dealings. We'd have seen what was essentially based on filings a run on that bank. I think they've handled themselves admirably given the stress of the situation. And yes, we will continue to do business with Silvergate. You know, the institutions that were improperly constructed collapsed, the Alamedas, the FTX, the Voyagers, the BlockFlies of the world. But in fact, Silvergate was a responsible bank. They were able to meet their redemptions, and if you consider the loan terms we have with them, we're nearly 4 times over-collateralized by a 25 loan-to-value. The irresponsible crypto banks were doing under-collateralized loans. So I think they do banking the right way in a responsible fashion and are a good citizen for the ecosystem. Thanks for having me. So there's Michael Saylor clearing up any rumors of him selling or exiting Bitcoin, and also pushing back against Charlie Muger's recent comments that the US should ban Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, as always, is as bullish and high conviction on Bitcoin as ever. So don't be fooled if you see any AI-generated audio clips going viral on social networks. Anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed today's video and that provided you with some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.